folks, so this is all based around, this exercise is based around the G major bar chord. So, okay. In the last video, we talked about how the 7th degree from the scale can be flattened. Okay, so here's a G chord. Now a G chord with the major 7th, right, and which is this note right here, F sharp. Which sounds kind of nice, a little clustered, but that's okay. And finally, we're going to take that note, the F sharp, and we're going to lower it to an F, a flat 7, and we're going to include that in the chord, like so. Simply by taking our finger off. G major, G7. Now the octave of that note, F, is here on the 6th fret of the 2nd string. So we could also include that note in the chord if we wanted to, okay, to make it another form of a G7. So here's G major, take the pinky off, G7. We can also put the pinky down, 6th fret on the 2nd string, and get that sound, which is a little bit, because the 7th is higher in the chord, it sounds different. Okay, now we're going to do an arpeggio exercise. Now remember, an arpeggio is a chord that's broken up by the notes. So we're going to start with the root. We're going to go to the 3rd of the chord, B. We're going to go to the 5th of the chord, D on the 5th fret. We're going to go to the flat 7, the F, and then back to the root. And now we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go to the 3rd, the 5th, the flat 7, and the root. Now I want to point out that a couple of these notes don't appear in the actual chord themselves. For example, the third note of the arpeggio, the B, you don't see inside this bar chord. However, most of the other notes are, okay? For example, we can look at this shape here, and all of those notes are included in the arpeggio. That one, that one, that one, that one are all inside the chord. So that's a way to help you remember what the notes are. Now what I would do, starting as a warm-up, I would play different rhythms on each of these notes until you get to know the pattern really well. So, for example, you could do triplets. Okay, you could do 8th notes. You could do swung 8th notes. You can do singles, and this is eventually what I would like you to do. Okay. Oops. Try that again. Okay. All right. So you can slide that up as a warm-up exercise. Quite often before a show, I'll run arpeggios up the neck and back down to make sure my fingers are nice and loose. Okay, and of course you can use a pick for this, and the pick is also very beneficial because it helps you work on your alternate patterns. Okay, there you go. Keep practicing.